Hi, I'm Byron.
I'm Bianca.
Welcome to the Self Made book channel and podcast. And we just recorded a very quick video, and I mentioned in that video that I don't like networking. And Bianca was like, "You don't like networking?" So that's the topic. So your question?
No, it's interesting because you actively, proactively go to networking events quite regularly, and I don't really like networking either, but I didn't know you didn't like networking.
Yeah.
I thought you liked networking. Okay, let me break that down. I don't dislike networking. I like meeting people, I like speaking to them, I like having conversations, I like learning about them, I like asking questions, but I sometimes don't like that whole, walk into a room, have to try and start a conversation with someone. I don't know. Some of the networking environments that I've been in, I think I've not liked, and I think it's easy to then feel like you don't really want to kind of network.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So to expand on my statement, it's not that I don't like networking. I don't like the networking events that people put on.
Yeah.
And I don't like the forced environments in which you're put in to network. I love meeting people.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I love engaging with people. And for me, essentially, I'm networking 24/7 because when I go to the till shop, I'm talking to them.
Yeah, exactly.
When I'm in a restaurant, I'm talking to whoever, and I'm networking consistently. So it's not that I don't like networking, I just don't like the environments in which the networking events are positioned, which is why we started our own events.
Yeah.
Because some of these events were just a bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think what's interesting about that is when I deliver kind of networking workshops and presentations, I always say to people that it's just not just about the networking at a networking event. I think there's this preconception that, okay, I'm going to a networking event, so I'm going to network. But actually, networking is so much more than that. There's
Absolutely.
so many spaces that you should be networking in, and really you should always be networking, always be ready to put your best foot forward and let your personal brand shine and have your elevator pitch prepared and all that good stuff. But even like when we're out and about, I know it's probably a bit strange, we talk to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right, we're at the till, you're at the checkout, you're at a restaurant, we just talk to everyone anywhere. And I think that's a really important skill to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I love meeting people. I dislike certain networking events and scenarios and environments. And then, okay, you know what? If I break down what I don't like about some events, it's some of we all go to events and you meet people that perhaps are not in the same position as you in field and so on and so forth. But the lack of preparation that people have when networking is really frustrating.
Yes.
Which is why we talk about elevator pitches and training for elevator pitches and stuff like that. Because to talk for 15 minutes
and you know nothing,
and you have no Scooby what this person does. I've just wasted 15 minutes of my life. And the lack of preparation that people have whilst going out to network. And there is a skill to networking. And I just find it really interesting that people go out to network and don't review their networking events that they go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was meticulous. I made a call sheet, and it basically had like how many people did I meet, how many business cards did I exchange, how many emails did I do, what was the result of it. Like that was the level that I was going to when I was going out networking, right? Because I wanted to see how effective it was, trying to see if there was a correlation between particular events, so on and so forth, right? But it's crazy that when you think about it, a lot of people that go to networking events have no idea how to network
but they haven't even thought of it as a skill.
Yeah.
They've just
I'm going networking. So maybe that's what it is, the lack of preparation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the energy, I think, sometimes from people. I think that some people you can feel that they don't want to be there. You know, like maybe you've been forced by your manager to go, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and your mentor said, "You need to do more networking." So now you're like, "Okay, you do more networking," but you don't really want to be there. You're kind of just like going through the motions.
Sure.
But you don't really want to be there, and so when you speak to them, you could just tell, or maybe they've had a bad day and they've taken that bad day into the networking event.
Can't switch it on
or off, and that's not, that's not an ideal scenario. You have to think, when you're out, you know, networking or meeting people, you want to be the person that you would hope to meet, and that's probably someone who is happy, positive, high energy. You know, that's really important. If you're not feeling great, don't go. Or start thinking about how
I'm
you
not
can
sure.
Yeah, no, I took it back after I said it. Maybe go, but you can't go with that energy. You have to try and
switch it on.
pep yourself back up, or take someone with you. Like one of my tips that I use when I speak to people about networking, if they're kind of like nervous about going to a networking event, is to go with someone but not stay with them. So you go with someone as your kind of networking buddy, and you separate, and you go left, you go right, you start meeting people. But if ever there's that moment where you feel awkward, there's no one to talk to, you've got like a security blanket, you've got that person to go back to.
Do you know what, that's so funny, yeah? Because when we go networking together, right, we'll stand next to each other for the first 5 minutes, we'll analyse the room, we'll scan the room. I'm like, okay, see you in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
See you in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're just working the room.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even see each other. And then when you're lost for 5 minutes or a minute, you can kind of join someone else's, join each other's conversation.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting that like our strategy, we probably didn't realise we had a strategy, but we never stand next to each other.
I mean, look, I train people on networking, so I knew there was a strategy, but I appreciate your sentiment.
How come I never had your training?
I don't know, maybe you didn't need it.
You see, I'm naturally talented, yeah?
Apparently so, baby. But yeah, no, so that's it. So, you know, go with someone else and use them as that person to go back to, so you feel a bit more, you know, supported.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You have to. It's a skill, and it takes effort, it takes energy, it takes repetition to get better at it, like any other skill.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Absolutely. So, give them some top tips then, Miss Expert. Top tips for networking.
Okay, so I've got this mantra, but it's not. I didn't come up with it. It's by a guy called Girish Shah, and it's SW3. That's the kind of acronym. So some will, some won't. So what? Some people will want to speak to you. Some people might not want to speak to you. So what? I really like it. I don't know if that's what he meant by that, but that's what I took from it, because I feel like there are scenarios where I've been in situations like this, where you go up to someone, try and speak to them, and they're a bit like, yeah, they shake your hand like they can't really be bothered, or they're just like, oh hi, what do you do then? And you're like, oh my god. So you know, some people want to speak to you, some people might not want to speak to you, but there's usually so many other people in the room. Don't feel that one person that's been a bit arsey is a reason not to keep going. That's one thing. The handshake, really important one. Really irritates me when people give like a kind of weak limp fish type handshake. But equally as irritating is when the handshake is too strong. Like, I've had situations where I feel like men and women, to be fair, I've been trying to literally break the bones in my hand. Like, it should be a comfortable, short but firm handshake. That's what you're kind of hoping to achieve. Other tips: elevator pitch, really important. That's a 30 to 60 second introduction of yourself, so it should be succinct but positive. It should illustrate what you do, why you do it, but it shouldn't be just full of kind of jargon. I think so often you meet people, and this might just even be their title for their job, and they're like, yeah, I'm the VP of blah blah blah, and like system analyst, blah, and you're like, that
means nothing to
means
no one.
nothing unless they work in your organisation or in your field. Is you're better off giving that person a sentence that describes what it is you actually do. How do you generate value for yourself or your organisation? That is more interesting and more encouraging for a long-term conversation than you say dropping your title. Unless, of course, you've got some, like, you know, big title that, you know, it makes sense to everyone. Then maybe then it works. But even then, let's talk about how you add value. What's your why? Why are you doing it? What do you bring to the table? So that's something I think is really important from an elevator pitch perspective. And then I guess final tip would be about body language. So how you stand when you're networking encourages or discourages other people from joining that networking opportunity. So, you know, sometimes you'll be in a two. If you're standing facing each other, that feels like a private conversation. It feels like you're not really encouraging or welcoming anyone else into the fold. So think about how you're standing. If that open body language can change the whole perception and can change your whole networking experience, because other people will join. It makes it easier for other people. But equally, if you're in that scenario and there is two of you and you're facing each other, if you see someone hovering around, try and bring them in. Essentially, let's make networking easier for everyone by all being, helpful networkers. And then I guess just very final one, quality over quantity. Like I know you mentioned earlier we work the room. I want to be clear that we don't literally go and try and speak to every single person in the room. So just think about the conversations you're having, even if you don't think they're relevant. They might not be relevant to you at that moment, but take a keen interest. You don't know who they know or how they might be able to help you in the future, how you might be able to help them, or who you can introduce them to. So I think you'll agree, Byron, we both have lots of really useless information in our brains as a result of networking. Mm-hmm. But actually they might be perceived as useless at the time, but then there's times when we're out and about and we meet people who actually I met someone who was talking about that the other day, and you have that little bit of information that enables you to continue that conversation. Yep. So it's never wasted information. I had one more, but I just forgot what it was.
You get straight into workshop mode. Yeah, I saw you.
Sorry. That's what happens. But yeah, so there's loads. But I think, network with purpose. I think that's important. So if you can get a list of who's going to be attending in advance of the event, even better. Because then you can really work out who you want to speak to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a few tips. Byron, do you want to add any?
I like this. I like using a cheat code. So I like to go to the organizer.
Oh yeah, of course, that was yeah.
So I like to go to the organizer.
Get there early.
Who often knows who's in the room, and I explain exactly what I do to him or her in detail, and I will say, if there's anybody here today that comes that you think will be of use to me or my network, please do introduce them to me. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
they're feeding people to you.
And then people are like, oh, do you guys know? No, we just met.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
And they're doing half the work for you, which is great.
So that's one of the things that I love is to speak to the organisers. That's it.
Cool. That was a good one. Yeah, that's definitely on my list. Yeah. Speak to organisers, really good one. Get there early, speak to organiser. So much easier if you get there early, because you can if you're already not very confident at networking and you get there late and you're now having to go into a room where there's that 100 plus people buzzing of energy and noise, and now you got to try and find someone to speak to. That's so much more difficult than if you get there early, introduce yourself to the organiser, they're doing half the work for you and all that good stuff. So definitely get there nice and early.
Awesome.
All right, well, I don't know why that turned into a networking tips video, but
what did we start with?
The ultimate aim was why you didn't like. But you ended up with tips, which is good. But you talked about why you don't like it. But it's I think it's something you have to just it's about adapting. Adapt to it.
Thank you. Well, hit us up in the comments below. Let us know what you think about networking. Do you like networking? What do you like? What don't you like? Let us know. And your tips, if you've got any you want to share. Yeah, please do. And until next time, I'm Bianca. And I'm Byron. Self Made is success.